Hello, welcome everyone to the live stream here. This is Raman from Trading with Venus. So today I wanted to do, I'm going to start a live stream every Friday. But today, this is a little bit later than what I want to do this at. Normally, I would do it at 12 p.m. Mountain Time, which is about 2 p.m. Eastern Time. So this one here is a special one, a one-off one. And today's topic, I just wanted to kind of do an update on the Turning Pro Challenge. It's been a few weeks since we have done this. So today I just wanted to go live with that. And actually, I was trying to start it a little bit late because I was trying to set up the live stream so that I can show my screen as well. And sorry, I haven't been able to do that. So it looks like it's only doing the camera. So I still need to figure it out. I know I can do it on Facebook, but I haven't been able to do it here. So thank you for everyone who is joining me right now live. Alexander, hi. Peter, hello. And Fitness Motivation, thank you for joining me here and saying hello. Today, actually, this one is another challenging live stream for me. It's not something that I am too excited about doing, but I am making myself do this, even though it is really hard because I had promised I would be accountable and I would show everything sort of behind the scenes, everything as it goes. So here I am. So please bear with me. All right. So the main focus of this particular chat today will be the Turning Pro Challenge account. And so as you all know, or you may know if you've been following me, I started the Turning Pro Challenge back in February. The goal of the Turning Pro Challenge is essentially to adapt the behaviors and actions of professional traders so that we can create professional results for ourselves as well. So I have been posting weekly updates on that, and it's been few weeks since I have done the updates, and it's a shame I can't show my screen here, but what I will do is I will post the results. I'll have to figure out how to do that. Maybe I'll do another video with that. Okay, so in terms of the results, so the results have not been very good, and that's why it's been challenging. So last, I think 2 to 3 weeks ago, I got into this problematic mindset issues. So I started running into problems. And one of the reasons, what triggered it was really people heckling me online. And people were just mean about certain things and sending me nasty messages and sending me bad things. So that kind of started it. And then since then, I've been trying to sort of get over this. It's a little bit, I take things a little bit too personally, which I shouldn't, and I'm working on that. So anyway, so that's where it started. But then other things happened, and since that, things have kind of escalated a little bit. The current results, where I stand currently, so the Turning Pro Challenge, the account, we started with $3,500. And currently I am sitting at accounts. I've taken some big losses, unfortunately. So over the last few weeks, it's been loss after loss after loss. So every week for the last 3-4 weeks, I've lost money, unfortunately. And currently where I sit is, let me just pull up my spreadsheet here so I can give you the exact number. So currently I'm sitting at $5,851. So I have slid down quite a bit on that account. If you recall, at one point, I was up about 300%. I was over $14,000 in that account, and I have just been bleeding money from there. And I've been trying to work on, and it's mainly the mindset. What happens is even this week was terrible for me because I diligently worked on trades and took really good trades, but it just, because my mindset is not quite there. All the trades that I took initially worked out, but I didn't stay in the trades because I was just not trusting myself, not really. I was just not trusting myself. So all of them worked out, but because I wasn't trusting myself, I didn't have the faith in myself. So I pulled out of those trades, and they went exactly where I had thought. And actually, Alexander, you're saying doing long-term trades, and that's what I was trying to do. So I'm trying to shift from short-term to longer-term trading, and just holding on to those trades to stay in it for the longer term is where I kind of ran into trouble. But overall, all of them would have worked out if I just had stuck with them. However, I find on Thursdays is when my Thursday New York session is when things start to go sideways for me. And Fridays where things go to hell in the handbasket. So I basically overall I'm down. So that's where we are. We're still up. I mean, I'm still up starting at $3,500, but that is from where I was, is just ridiculous. The amount that I have slipped. So I started with 3,500 and right now I'm 5,850. So still up, but from the highest point, it was at 14,000. So that's quite a bit of money to lose, and working with that. So the thing is, though, now what, right? So that's the most important question. So I've lost money. I made money. I made a lot of money. And over the last few weeks, I have lost money. And what that is causing for me is just personal struggles in terms of mindset, like not having faith in myself, not having, just kind of second guessing myself on every single turn, and just a host of mental issues where I feel like every week I work it up diligently, and then I just lose the willpower and I just slide back down. And that's how I've just been kind of one loss after another. So it's not, the whole week is usually good, and then I just lose it on the last day. And that's what's been happening. So that's the pattern. Now, the most important question is, what now? So I have to say first, another thing is I also started a trade copier, and that just puts added pressure on myself. This is something that I have been asked to do again and again over the years, and I have just not wanted to do it because of the stress. It's one thing that I lose my own money. It's losing somebody else's money that I'm not comfortable with. As you have seen from me over whatever amount of time that you've been following me, I'm not exactly the person to go beat my chest over things. I just do things kind of slow and steady, and I just show things as they are. So for me, like I said, I do take things personally. So it's one thing losing my money, but then anybody whose account that trade got copied to and having them lost money, that I am sort of beating myself up over. So today has been beat myself up sort of day, and it's been tough. Sorry. Okay. So what are we going to do about it? The thing is, okay, so this is the game plan that I've come up with. It is the fear. I think I have gone from being very confident in myself to being very fearful. And now I'm so afraid to do anything. And that's the difficult part. So this is what I'm going to do. Go back to what I know best. So taking trades is I know how to take trades. So we'll go back to that. So what I'm going to do is when things go. So I like to talk about athletics because I played sports growing up, and sports was a big part of how I live my life, and just part of me. And so I learn a lot of stuff. I think sports has a lot of stuff to teach us. question here is what caused the fear. The fear was one that I was sliding, and then being responsible for other people's trades was what sort of made it, I don't know, exaggerated, I suppose it was. And also just taking bad trades, like going out and this is hard. I have to say, this is very hard. Coming out here and every week or saying, oh my God, I lost money. That is really hard to actually show, to be supposedly a Forex expert, the person who knows how to do it, and yet not being able to perform. That is really hard to actually go out and say, yeah, I kind of feel like an idiot. Well, here I am losing money. So that's that was the first fear, having to come out and say it, first of all, because I promised that I would show the account, which not too many people show, I know. So I'm trying to bring a little bit of authenticity to and honesty to our industry. So I'm not trying to hide behind claims and things like that. I'm showing things as they are, whether that's trading, mental challenges, everything else. So my goal is to talk about them. And so that was the first fear, is when I do these kind of videos where I actually lose money, I do get negative comments out of that. And then of course I lose people, which is another one. So there's a whole lot of, and just like coming and owning up to something like this is hard, because one thing about trading is you just get to hide behind your desk and you don't really need to show anything. Most people don't, but this we're changing that. So the question now is, moving forward, what do we do from here? So here's what. So first, I will address the trade copier, because I just started the trade copier. So what I'm going to do is, I connected my own account. Okay, so first, all right, so people who have signed up for the trade copier with me, what I'm going to do is give them next 2 months for free, or anybody who signs up with me, next 2 months will be free. Basically, you pay, anybody who's paid for the 1 month, they get 2 months of free. So basically summer will be free. Any profits they get to keep. And my goal will be to keep the losses to the minimum. So the goal is to make profits. So any money that I've lost, my goal is to make it up. So biggest thing is making it right? It's okay. It's one thing to make a mistake, but now I need to make it right. So to make it right, so I'm going to give 2 months of free trade copier to anybody who's signed up or signs up with me. So basically I'm doing a 90-day trial period. And that's really for me to see, does this work for me? And also for people to see, can I trade? So it's a two-way thing. One, testing the software. Second is testing whether I can do it as well, because it is actually a massive amount of stress to trade somebody, to be responsible for somebody else's trade, because. And this is one of the reasons I hadn't done it for so long. But so there are two things I can do at this point. One is I can say, is it's not. I just throw in the towel and say, hey, you know what, this is not for me. I'm not going to do it. And the second one is to say, okay, let's make it right, and then give it a go and see for 90 days how it works. So at the very least, people will make some money. So giving the 2 months free, so you're back to the account should cover all the losses. So that's and actually just to be clear, I didn't lose all this money in the trade copier. So I opened an account that's $10,000. And actually, I am going to post a link. So I opened an account for $10,000, and I am at $9,400. So that's the actual trade copier results right now. So what I'm going to do is so I talked about the money part. So now, so people who actually paid for it, another thing I'm going to do is I'm going to post my results. I'm going to bring this accountability, take this accountability a little bit further. And these are my accounts. So anybody who wants to go there can follow the results there for the trade copier. And another thing, if you follow this link, what it will do is it will show you all the trades that I have open at any given time. So, and so next thing on down the line here is to take smaller trades. I wasn't taking massive trades to begin with, but even cut down the size of the trades and let them run for a little bit longer. And then take less trades as well. So less trades, take them for longer time period and cut the size into half. So that should bring it down. So in the trade copier from my trading, I've lost about $700 out of the $600, $700. I was up, actually. I was up and then it dropped. So I think I'm at $9,400. So lost about 600. But overall, I think lost $740. I was up a bit. Okay, so that's so you can go check out the results. And of course, if you want to follow along, it will show you the trades that I'm in currently when I take the trades. So that's I'm kind of basically raising the stakes a little bit. So I'm making it completely accessible and completely transparent. So you can go check it if you want to take those trades. They work for you. Go for it. It will all be free. There's nothing to pay for that. And it'll be a matter of working it back. So you can of course go see the results. The trades will be posted as I take them, so you can have it open at all times. And if you want to take the trades, if they fit with your analysis, demo them or something. So I think that's another thing I will do. So you have access to all account results. You will see, and when I say I will take smaller size, you will see the size of the trades that I'm taking as well. So for about a $10,000 account, my normal thing is one for every $1,000, one mini lot. So I would be able to take technically one full standard lot, but that's not the size that I'll be trading, because the idea is to kind of minimize the downside. So it will be smaller, and I will cut it down even smaller from that. So that will be fully transparent, completely open and honest, so you guys can see that instead of me just having to do a live a webinar at the end of it, or doing a recording of a video at the end of it. You'll be able to see the results at any given time. So you can, just for kicks, you can go check it out. So those are some of the steps. And another one is back testing. What happens is from the sports, I was talking about sports, I kind of got distracted from there. Talking about sports, when you have losses in sports, what the coach will have you do is go back to basics. So if you're playing basketball, they will just ask you, shoot the ball, don't get fancy, just shoot the ball, practice, 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 go back to the basics. So the way we can do that in Forex is by doing back testing. So I do back testing sessions usually on Facebook Live. I do 2 to 3 a week generally. What I'm going to do is I'm going to sort of do more back testing just for myself. And the goal here is to do 10 years of data and do 10 years of data on 10 pairs and do my strategy and do the results on that. So through the FX Blue website, you'll be able to see the strategy that I'm testing and also the results of the strategy. So it will all be free, of course. You don't need to pay for anything. This is just for my own self. And if it helps you, please feel free to follow it and see if you want to apply it for yourself. If it works for you, take it. If it doesn't work for you, then that's okay as well. But I'm gonna be doing 10 years of data for 10 different pairs. So this will be a lot of just repetition, basically shooting the ball into the hoop, and that's it. Just sort of get myself back on track. And then, of course, I'm working on the mindset stuff as well as we are going. So I will continue doing that. One of the things that I do need to get more do more of is meditation. I was listening to Ray Dalio. He's written a book. I think it's called Principles. That's the name of his book. I'm currently listening to it on Audible. And he talks about, so he is he owns Bridgewater Associates, and he is one of the largest hedge fund, I suppose. And they have been very, very successful. Tony Robbins talks about him in the book, Money Mastery or something like that, the big book that he has done. So Ray Dalio, he talks about his struggles when he first started trading and how he sort of went through it. One of the things that he talks about and highly recommends is meditation, which doesn't have anything to do with the trading itself, trading strategy, but he talks about meditation. And I think that would also be good. Well, that'll be good for me to manage the stress as well. So meditation is something else that I need to incorporate. So basically, the plan here is a combination of testing, just hands on the keyboard testing for 10 years, 10 pairs. So that's a lot of trades. That'll be more than 10,000 trades that I should be able to take within that time period. And going back to the 10,000 trades show that I do, the idea is you get a lot of repetition, and repetition is what makes it successful. So we'll do that, and then smaller trade size and half the trade size, and so position size, I should say, and less number of trades. So cut down the number of trades to half as well. And then I will post my account results. I posted that link there. If you connect to that link, you can bookmark it if you like. All the trades that I took will be in there. And please feel free to call me out if you see me doing something that doesn't quite line up with what I'm saying. So basically, I'm making it fully transparent and fully accountable. So I'm raising the ante for this. So two options, like I said, either I quit and say, oh, this just sucks, or I'm not going to do the trade copy or anything else. Or the second one is I make it right. And even though every fiber in my body says, oh, just screw it, there's no need for me to really do this. I can just trade my own account and I'll be okay with that because I can live off of my account. The point, though, is that it's just running away from it, and I don't want to run away. So we'll do this. And then another thing is, so you'll have the results there. Any positions I take when they open, they will show up on that web page. And the last thing is anybody who is in the trade copier, I will give 2 months of free access. So basically not charge for the next 2 months, whatever they paid for the 1 month, because I just launched it essentially earlier this week. This was the first official week of doing the trade copier. So they'll get 2 months of free. That should make up for the losses. And that is it. And actually, so yeah, so that's that. So that's my game plan. And please do follow along. And thank you for the comments that you have posted. And that's all I have. Any questions before we wrap it up? Okay, so no question. All right, so perfect. So you guys have a wonderful weekend. We will wrap it up. Guy, what do you mean how? I'm not sure I understand the question. Joseph, I do day trade. Guy, in terms of picking the new trades, I'm just going to be, half the volume. Yes, half the size. I will decrease my lot size. It's just you can select what lot size you want to do. So right now usually I take, because my account was at $7,000. And I was trading 0.30. So I was taking 2 trades of 0.30 each. So 0.60, 6 mini lots was what I was taking. So I'm going to cut it down to 3. So I'll take 0.15 and 0.15. So about So 3 mini lots is what I'm going to be trading on the $5,800 account. And the amount of trades is just, instead of taking trades, let's say every day, I will just be more selective with the trades that I want to take, and also cut out on Friday trading. Friday trading just sucks for me. It's not a good day for me to trade. It either the trend is too strong or it just dies down, and so it's just not. I don't think my Friday trading has been that great, and that's why I wasn't trading it before. But once in a while you get some good trades, and so I'm just going to cut it out. There's just no point. On a daily basis, I usually take a couple of trades, so 2, maximum 3 trades on a daily basis. On Fridays, I close all positions because I've had bad experience with gaps and things like that. Even the ECN brokers will sometimes just the spread tends to open, and then you can get into losses. So I have not had good success rate in terms of leaving the trades open. I've been bitten too many times by either the gaps or the positions, the spread opening. There was one time there's 50 pip spread, and that was just ridiculous. So I don't do that anymore. Currently, I do short-term trading, but I'm trying to switch to a little bit longer-term trading, so that the number of trades is not as much. My best trades are Tuesdays to Thursdays. Yeah, so that will include Monday night, not Monday daytime, because Monday night trade will actually work out in the London session, Tuesday's London session. Joseph, question is, if I lose on Friday, do I dwell over it on the weekend? I am a beat myself up kind of person, and that's why actually somebody was getting really mad at me because I called a trade in the trade room and it just went against me. Somebody was getting mad at me and just beating me up over that. And I was saying, "Oh, please don't kick me when I'm down," because I am very good at kicking myself. So I do dwell on it. If I have trades open, I find I dwell on them more because the trade is still open. What I found is I've gotten better at letting it go if I close the trade. So, for example, today I had a terrible day in the markets. Market just a few things. One, thin liquidity in the market. So when there's thin liquidity, the move will just continue on. It will just keep going on. And next week we'll see it's gonna shoot back, right? And this is what happens with thin liquidity. It creates these inefficient market moves, which will then get filled. The inefficiency get filled. And the problem was I was trying to look for that inefficiency filled today, but it just kept on going, and that tends to be the problem with thin liquidity conditions. It's also weekend, so a lot of people closing their positions. It's also a quarter end, and quarter end is when the bigger financial institutions will close out their positions. Which what that creates is it creates a move in the opposite direction of what was going on. And the mistake that I made was, I should have closed my position yesterday, which I didn't close. In the New York session, I should have just closed it. So this is where the mindset messes you up. So I know what to expect. I've done this many, many times before. It's like Michael Jordan and going to the free throw line and not being able to score, right? So it's not, and this is exactly what it is. I know what to do. I know what the problem is. And yet I did not close the position out on Thursday during the New York session. I should just close it out and called it a day. Secondly, I should not have I was trying to fade the move and look for that inefficiency move, and it didn't do that. So basically I doubled my losses. And had I just taken the first loss, I think it would have been okay. I would have lost a couple $100 and it would have been fine. But my losses got exaggerated because I was looking for that move and it did not happen. So this is going to happen next week. So I'm going to have to keep an eye out for it. But that's what happened. So it was a weekend, a month end. Basically, we get weekend, month end, quarter end. So essentially, all those people who close the position, institutional traders closing the position, causes a move in the opposite direction of what was happening. So US dollar was on a rally, and then I saw this US dollar index just tanked and took all the US dollar crosses with it. And as a result, it was just a bad day for the US. I think euro dollar had one of its biggest moves today. So there was ECB was one move, and today there was really no reason for US dollar to lose, but it was just because people booking the profits. Now we're getting into summer trading, low liquidity conditions, so market tends to do stuff like this. And in beginning of the month are risky. Yes. And they're risky because it just creates all these bigger financial institutions closing their position because they have to book a profit. So in order to book a profit, they have to close the position, which causes a move in the opposite direction. So what happens is the positions, they can get, or I should say the moves can get exaggerated so they can just continue on without stopping. So you can get into the slippery slope of where normally price will move, it will go up, come down, go up, come down. Last night, what happened was it just shot up 100 pips, just like that. There was just out of nowhere in Asian session, it just shot up. So this is kind of what happens if somebody started, closed positions and it just pushed it up. So you get a big order coming into the market. It can completely move the market in the opposite direction. The problem with futures is that you cannot manage the lot size. So you have to take a certain, so either I'm doing minis or standard. So I was doing standard futures, but the problem is I cannot do partial closes on the futures. That's why I don't like futures too much. I do have an account where I can trade futures. And I used to do that. I used to do oil futures all the time before, and some Forex futures as well. I just find it not being able to manage the account size is the problem. So I don't like doing that. The candle on euro US dollar, yes, that's an inefficient candle, and at some point it will get filled. But again, we got to wait. It will be sometime next week because I think the US dollar is likely to sort of hold its strength. We'll just come back to it. And then there was another question. Somebody has a $300 account. What lot size should I use? So basically, my rule of thumb is for every $1,000, I can trade one mini lot. So if I have 2 positions going, then that means there's 5 micro lots in each position. So that means for $100, it's 1 micro lot. So the maximum position that I would take on that would be 3 micro lots. All right. Any other questions? I think I have gone through all the questions here. All right. So, okay, I think we will call it a wrap. Thank you very much for taking the time to join me on this Friday evening. I will go drown my sorrows now, and I will start fresh next week. So you guys have a wonderful weekend. All the very best for your trading next week. And I will start doing a review every Friday. So at noon, every Friday, 12 Mountain Time, I'll do a review. I just have to figure out how to show my screen as well as the camera. Do I trade on I don't trade the non-farm payroll. I actually don't trade news at all. I may take a position after the news, but I don't take positions during news. There's just too much slippage and spreads being opened and stuff like that. Thank you very much. Thank you for the comments. I will try to keep my head up and keep on going. All right, you guys have a wonderful weekend. If there are, so the weekly reviews that I'm going to do, one, I will cover the account, the Turning Pro Challenge. And then another thing I'm going to do is start answering questions. So if there are topics that you guys would like me to talk about or do a little educational thing, I will do that as well. So please feel free to post the topics you want, just post them on YouTube comments. I do go through all the YouTube comments, so I will check them. And so, for example, people have asked me how to draw support and resistance lines. So that topic has come up many times. So next one, I think I will do do a little education thing on that. So next Friday, I will talk about that. And then, so any other topics that somebody had asked me, how do you manage to trade with kids and family responsibilities and other things like that? So we'll talk about that. Any other topics that, so this is really my goal, is to be just kind of bring behind the scenes, not at, I don't want this like Forex trading. It gets such a bad name. The thing is, though, there is opportunity to make money. It's a good business, but there's also this negative side of it where it can really, you can crash and burn, and the mental aspect can be quite challenging. So my goal is to not just show the positive, show sort of like the full picture, both sides of the coins. So anybody who's wanting to take this on, or if you're struggling, or if you're doing something, then you can actually see, right? Like you can make that educated decision on, is this something that you want to be part of? It is wonderful. I mean, it allows you a lot of freedom. Like I can go for walks in the middle of the day. I can just close up my computer and say I'm done. But then there's also that negative side of it, as you just saw me share. Steve, for the trade copier, I'm still going to be running trade copier for over the next 90 days. I am doing the test for it. I'm doing beta test. You are welcome to join the beta test if you're interested. These are the results. So I had a losing week. I'm not sure if you were there. These are the results. So anybody, the link that I just posted, you can go to that link and you can follow along. And if you just want to see the positions that I'm taking, the size that I'm taking, how I'm trading, it will show you all the positions, right? So this is just my way of we'll just do it for the next 90 days and see how it goes. You can see everything after the 90 days, of course. If I'm still doing the trade copier, I will close that link because it does show all the trades, and I have to look into it because that may not be something that I may want to show, but I will definitely keep on showing the results, of course. So you can follow that link to go. If you do want to join the trade copier, what I'm doing is I'm doing basically 2 months for free. So anybody who's paid now already will get 2 more months free, or anybody who joins will get 2 months free just by making one payment. So that's just my way of kind of making it right, making sure everybody gets profits in their account. And so if you wanted to do the trade copier, so I'm going to put this website. It's still under construction. So please excuse the bad visual aspect of the website right now. But that's the trade copier website. If you do want to join me, you're welcome to do so. But please be aware that I'm going to be testing. I'm working on. I am working on this. Gregory, I am sorry. I didn't know. I was trying to use the other link to start the meeting, but it wasn't working for me. So my apologies. I do apologize for that. I was trying to, the event that I had created, I was trying to join that, but it wasn't working for me. So I couldn't join that. So I thought I would just start a new stream. So my apologies for that. I just need to figure out, this is the first or the second time I've done a live stream. So I just need to sort out how to do that. I'm getting a little bit better at the Facebook live streams, but every Friday I will be doing a live stream here. So I need to figure out whether I need Wirecast or something, or if I can just do them here. My feeling is that I may have to get a software so I can show my screen as well as just me being on the screen. Okay, so that's it. So we'll call it a wrap. You guys have a wonderful weekend. I will see you again next Friday. So in the meantime, please post in the comments, post any questions that you would like me to work on. Hey, Kofi. Yes, Toronto is awesome. Although I'm not in Toronto anymore. I have moved, but I was in Toronto for a long time. For the account, Shubham, your question is how much account balance should be there in the trade copy? I would say while we're doing the beta test, it's better to have smaller trade balance just to kind of be protective, right? And that's my recommendation. Do not change the the risk parameters. What happens right now, it does one-to-one risk mapping. So let's say if I have $5,000 in my account, you have $5,000 in your account. Whatever trade size I take, you will get the same trade size. But let's say if you have smaller account size than I do for the trade copier, then it will it adjusts to your trade size. So the new account that I have set up that I just posted the link to, that one is $10,000. And what it does, it will adjust it upwards. It will just adjust it. It will adjust it accordingly based on whatever your account size is. So it takes my account position size, ratio of my position size to my account size, and maps it the same. Okay, so average return, my goal is to do 10%. So my goal is to do 10% a month. So that's what I'm working towards. And of course, it could be more or less, but that's sort of my target that I'm working towards. All right. So I think we have if you want to reach me, you can reach me, Raman, at tradingwithvenus.com. So RAMAN at tradingwithvenus. Okay, so there we go. That's my contact information. All right, so I think we have run through all the questions. All right. Perfect. So we'll call it a wrap. You guys have a wonderful weekend. And again, thank you for joining me and, kind of taking this journey for me and spending this time with me. I do appreciate you guys are a wonderful audience. So thank you very much. Have a very, a wonderful weekend. And again, I will see you guys live next Friday, and it will be at 12 p.m. Mountain Time, 2 p.m. Eastern. So that will be our normal time of where I will do the review. And each review will contain a review of what happened during the week in terms of markets, what happened in the market. So we'll do a little bit talk about what the markets did. Then we'll talk about Turning Pro Challenge, the account results, and also the trade copier. So those are all the things that I will cover in the review. Also, I will do a little educational piece. So any questions that I receive, the first one that I'm going to do is on support resistance. How do you draw support resistance? How do you use support resistance? Because I do use a lot of support resistance for my, that's one of the main things that I use for trading. So I'll talk about that. But as we go forward, any of the questions that somebody wants to, want me to cover a topic, I will cover that topic. So that's what we'll be doing. Perfect. You guys have a wonderful weekend. I will see you next Friday then. Bye for now.